The world is full of wonders.
Magic is waiting in small moments.
And monsters might be watching, just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. Thanks for joining us for more Monster of the Week. Before we begin, let's check in with our heroes.
I hope this tree hydra leaves me alone. I'm Damien Edgecrest.
Big scary tree monster. It's time to make like a tree and kick some ass. I'm not very good at puns. I'm Raven Eugenia.
Whoever commissioned Kikimora for this job, dibs. I'm Amity Starnbrook.
Nice.
When the disembodied entity who controls my actions says hydration, I don't think this is what he meant. I'm Hugo Rashad.
He knows he's in a game.
Thinking 2 steps ahead and getting 6 heads behind, I'm Agent Whitaker. And help, I've made it worse.
Oh no, it's again, and again, and again, and again.
Oh my god!
My intro is going to be, so no head. Unfortunately.
Too many.
Like a bad latte. Too much head.
There's only room for one powerful plant-based entity in this city. I'm Aiden Brightwood. Let's have an adventure.
Vegan girly Aiden Brightwood.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You don't stand a chance against my vegan powers. I'm Aiden Brightwood.
We could have done Scott Pilgrim theme.
I was in the mood for a salad. I'm Aiden Brightwood.
Last time, our heroes met with Carla Hernandez and the other members of the Seattle Whispered group, Las Muertas. What began as a tense but cordial potluck dinner devolved when Aiden and Carla clashed and both left the meeting angrily. Gabriella showed the rest of our heroes the way in which her family had been tracking the Leshy spawn points, a magical garden which reacted to gatherings of powerful magical energy. Unexpectedly, a non-Leshy-based surge of spiritual power was detected, and our heroes rushed to investigate. Raven discovered that the mysterious dragon from her recent dreams was here in the real world. The creature seemed gentle enough, but took off suddenly, leading our heroes through the city in pursuit. They arrived at a large glass greenhouse structure, and inside encountered the being who has been controlling and spawning the Leshy to distribute the unstable and dangerous crystals. Kikimora, a plant spirit of notable strength, who summoned an enormous Leshy which took on the form of a many-headed hydra and burst from the building. Carla and Las Muertas arrived on the scene and prepared to engage the massive monster with Rogue Team. And that's where we pick up now. Hunters, what do you do?
Can you remind us of who is where?
Whitaker, Raven, Damien, and Amity are inside the building, what's left of it, as the Hydra starts to smash its way through support structures and walls of this spherical place. Aiden, Hugo, and the members of Las Muertas and Agent Mulligan Lake's team are outside in like the courtyard and intersection, which has been blocked off and slowly emptied of bystanders. And for scale, this Hydra is slightly taller than the spheres themselves.
Oh, okay.
Multiple stories, at least.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Cool. Love that.
Cool.
Yeah. Whitaker had landed next to Amity, and the creature grew 6 heads. We need to get some distance between ourselves and this crazy-ass monstrosity. She's going to grab her staff, whistle for Whisper to come and assume the position as broom power, and pull Whitaker towards her and say, "Climb on, hang on to me, let's get a better vantage point."
Oh, fucking hell. All right. He'll climb on.
You don't have to drive, I'm driving.
But you only just got your license.
Listeners, you cannot see the big fucking eye roll I did just now.
Amity shoves Whitaker off the broom.
There's a student driver carved into the side of the broom.
No, it's slapped across Whitaker's ass like a bumper sticker.
Oh man, there are booty short slogans everywhere for those with eyes to see them.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I should not have taken a sip of water. I almost spit it out.
Sorry.
It was really good.
All right, city's in danger. Come on, let's
Mhm.
go.
The Hydra, as it emerges from its back, large twisting trunks of trees are sprouting and impaling nearby buildings and growing up through them. So there's lots of glass breaking and shouts and yells. I think Aiden gets up onto her feet, looks to the younger members of Las Muertas, and she says, "All right, listen up. We need to be evacuating those buildings right now. Anyone argues, you tell them you are acting on my orders. Field agent clearance, priority red." And they kind of all turn to look at her, and they look to Carla, and Carla is just like, "What are you all standing around for? You heard her? Move it!" And the three of them take off in different directions to try and get people out of the buildings that are being attacked right now.
Okay. Didn't think that's how that was gonna go.
Aiden looks to Carla, gives her a nod. Carla nods back, and the two of them run towards the monster. Hugo, you're there too, if you want to start something.
Hugo's not there anymore because he's gone to help with evacuating people.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
Act under pressure. Let's see some of that happening as we watch Aiden and Carla run off. We'll follow Hugo as you zip through some buildings. It'll be the move with your snipe speed, I suppose.
Yep. Let's roll that. Ooh, that was almost horrifying.
Oh my god, that was almost very bad.
That's a 7.
Okay. A mixed success. You will do what you set out to do, but there will be a cost or a price to pay. You tell me, and I'll let you extend this to how, like, the rest of your friends are doing. Gabby, Fernanda, and Mercedes. The 7 will count for, like, your first round, all 4 of you collectively trying to get more people evacuated.
So the 4 of them are making their way through various buildings, trying to grab people from the upper level offices and realizing in certain cases it's difficult to break through the windows. In other cases, people are getting wrapped up in the plant growth and foliage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as they are trying to get people out, they find themselves getting slowed down because the various growths of vines and florals are producing weirdly high amounts of pollen that's creating a miasmic haze, latching onto them and making their ability to move quickly more difficult than usual.
Luckily, Las Muertas always show up with their identities concealed and their mouths covered, which is also part of your whispered gear. So there's some filtering going on. But yeah, I think you're all sort of more out of breath than you would be at like the top of a fight like this. And I will give you a -1 forward on whatever next action you and the girls take. But you are able to rescue several people from this first building, which again, through the roof of it now, several stories up, just a treetop bursts and blooms and covers the whole building in the shade of new foliage as it grows. Everyone else, you can see like root systems bursting from wherever this Hydra creature takes a step. It is aggressively terraforming the city, reclaiming it with growth and plant life.
God, that would be so cool otherwise.
Right?
If only it wasn't so nefarious and terrifying. This would be rad.
All right, my magic users, can we get some ice on this thing? I don't want to start a fire in the middle of the city, so can we slow this thing down with something a little more...
I can try.
Do your best, please.
I don't think I have anything with ice.
Consider, Raven, a combination of wind and water spirits might get you ice abilities.
I was leaning towards water. I'll roll for magic and see if I get to pick.
Yeah, let's see what's in the cards.
Oh, that's 10.
Okay, then you get to choose.
Are you saying I get to pick 2 right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. How do we feel about doing the woodpecker spirit? I'm trying to find something with wings
A woodpecker, I think, is just fun, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think it's kind of double. I want something with powers of air and like wings to help like physically make air, but also woodpecker in terms of like a big tree creature
Mm-hmm.
feels very damaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I was gonna go for the seaweed kelp spirit because I wanted to try and restrain it in some way, but I do think I need something that's just like something that will like bring more water with it.
Salt water is also technically pretty damaging.
That was my original thought before you reminded me that ice
Ooh.
would work.
You don't have to listen to Whitaker. Just go for it.
All right, I'll stick with my original instinct and do the seaweed kelp spirit and the woodpecker spirit, and then see if maybe Amity can help with ice stuff.
Yeah. Oh, if you can get like water inside the thing and then have Amity turn it to ice and have it like explode outward.
Let's fucking go.
Maybe the woodpecker can help with that too. Okay, those are my 2 picks. But I weirdly like that the seaweed kelp spirit is abundance, and I also really like that woodpecker is cruelty.
Oh,
I think that's very interesting for something that I'm trying to like take down.
So here's why I like your choices, Raven.
Mm-hmm.
You've chosen a water card, Abundance, which we have here as like the seaweed kelp spirit. In my little notes, it says Sea Witch.
Yeah, mine also says that in parentheses.
Oh.
Are there any water features in this space? Because I would love to try and utilize one of them as like a source of water to add to the strength of this.
At a minimum, there's plumbing. It is a workspace.
yeah.
I was thinking like a pond or like just like immediately visible where I could try and draw some water.
Sure. Yeah, that's not hard. There's also a hydrant probably outside, you know?
Oh, that's true.
You quickly draw 2 cards and you enter the white space. And in front of you, you almost take an instinctive step back because you think you are looking at Kikimura again. But not quite. But very similarly, a creature made of the kelp and like plant life of the ocean stands before you. This one's eyes are fully your silver magic with a like aquamarine blue, almost opal cornea. She says in a quiet voice, "My sister is causing trouble on the land, is she?
Huge trouble.
Then I will raise a flood."
That is exactly what we need.
Do it.
I'll take anything. Make it personal.
The cruelty one is already kicking in, I see.
We see, as you are thanking the kelp spirit, this ocean witch, that a little woodpecker spirit lands on your shoulder. They have this bright crimson crest that flares out the back of their white and black spirit mask, but they open their beak and say, "Oh yeah, seems you got a bit of a growth problem going on, miss. Tell you what, I'm not busy this afternoon. How's about I come over and lend a hand taking care of that for you, eh?"
I'll trust your expertise.
I was not prepared for Midwestern cruelty.
I was going for Canadian.
They're the same.
Midwest, Northern, Midwest. Same thing.
When you come out of this, Raven, I think you feel wind moving around your forearms in a spiraling pattern. You can just feel it churning around and around and around and around and around. And you see nearby kelp growing out of a hydrant, which then like unscrews the cap and the water just starts to jet out. And you see large spectral leaves of kelp direct the water towards the hydra, but it's just splashing all over the ground. It's not really doing a whole lot. And a like spectral version of the woodpecker spirit still sitting on your shoulder says, "Right, so lift with your legs, not your back, and I'll take care of that torque. You focus on your aim, eh?" And like points with his pinion feathers on his wing. And you sort of instinctively raise an arm, and as you do, the wind around it shoots forward, catches some of the water that the kelp spirit is providing for you, and spiraling shards of ice, as the wind chills it very quickly, begin to fly forward and impale the hydra in like its leg.
Hell yeah.
The hydra's heads all scream and roar in pain as they feel these drills of ice pierce their bark scale exterior.
At the very least, I'm keeping it distracted so someone else can do something.
Damien?
Damien sees everyone leap into action, doing their blasting and attacking. and he runs outside of the sphere where the city's wrecked, cars and stuff are broken, signs have been knocked down. So he grabs one of the parking signs and runs over to Whitaker's motorcycle, stabs the gas container so it starts leaking gas.
Oh my god.
And then he stabs the sign into the pavement. It doesn't go into the pavement. We're just here to scratch it along the pavement. And he starts driving the motorcycle around the block to begin surrounding this tree monster. Because there's definitely a lot of iron in a steel sign. So he's dragging it along the ground, making a circle of iron around it. And fire is going to make it cooler. So as the gasoline hits some of the sparks, it becomes a fiery iron circle that he's going to try to drive around the circumference of this thing.
Yikes.
That's so cool. Holy shit.
That's badass.
Start of big magic.
Act under pressure.
Oh my god. Whitaker hates this. I love this.
We'd be so upset if we weren't so proud.
Please roll so well, because if this is a 6, ooh.
Roll the best you've ever rolled in your life.
I'm probably going to bottle this one up for the record. It seems important. Hey, Natalie, you want 3 points of bonuses, right? You'd like that?
Sure.
That's 6 on the dice, 7, 8 with my cool, 9, 10. Oh, you only need 2.
Okay. I am now holding 3 against Damien.
Oh my god.
Okay, you want to take the description a little further? Tell me how this looks as you bottle up fear and rage and frustration and anything else and, make it around the block?
Well, it's going to be tough. You're probably going to hear it more than you see it because it's the sound of this metal sign being, driven and scraped along the street at like 30 miles an hour as Damien has to, dodge cars. So it's not a pretty circle. So the first trip around is just this noisy grinding thing, and he has to do a second trip around to actually get a second, 2 sets of metal lines on the ground to actually create any sort of interlocking shape as he's dodging broken glass and street signs and people running around. So it's crazy, chaotic, and loud and obnoxious.
I'm going to say, because it's a mix and that you're now bottling up to get it successful, I don't think you have enough gas to go around a chaotic city block before you would run out of fuel for the motorcycle. I'll let you finish a circle, but I don't.
That's all I need because someone else brought their motorcycle, so he can just do the same thing. I think that's Raven and Aiden's motorcycle.
Raven's motorcycle is electric.
Oogie woogie woogie.
Please don't stab my motorcycle for gasoline.
Okay.
It'll just make everybody sad.
You know that Raven and Aiden's bike is electric, so that won't work.
You would know that.
And also, just time-wise, I don't think you're going to make it twice around this, multiple city blocks within a turn.
Oh, no, it's going to take another turn. And he won't stab the gas can. You only need 1 ring of fire, but I feel like the metal is going to work better if you can get at least some sort of...
All right. I'm going to cut you off at 1 time around the block, and we'll come back to you in a minute. But it is very cool as you now are dodging not just cars of people fleeing and stuff like that, but the root system as the Hydra continues to grow through different restaurants, the glass edifice of a sandwich shop as vines and branches begin to fill it and crawl up the side of the building it's the ground floor of. Stop signs are surrounded and warped and twisted and bent and then used as a foundation for other plants to grow off of and connect to nearby buildings with. It's a lot of cool stunt driving on Damien's part and probably at least a couple weeks worth of shop work that you are signing Whitaker's bike up for.
It's insured. Relax.
The start of a spell circle is being formed. Who's next? Amity, Whitaker? Now that you're in the air?
So on the vein of slowing shit down, Amity's going to try to use magic to slow down time around the creature so that at the very least it will not leave this area anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 on the dice, plus 3 from use magic. 14.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay, I think we're gonna say this functions almost like a hold monster.
Yeah, trap a specific person, minion, or monster, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're able to send out this wave of magic. Describe it. I like handing it over to you guys.
Yeah. So Amity takes a second to steady themselves on the staff, sort of gripping on with like their knees in order to have control. This is not the first time that they have done this, and it will not be the last. They take a second and inhale, and there's a shimmering of light around them, a shift of time, gravity, and they hold both hands out, and almost as if placing them on dials, twist both hands to slow down time. And we see this sort of shimmering happen around the creature as well. And as Amity twists her hands, the more the creature slows.
We see the Hydra's movements grow lethargic and then slow motion, and then it sort of locks in place. But you are now there holding this spell in the air, Amity.
Yeah, she's got to hold it. They are stuck floating in the air. They are not moving anywhere.
And there is sort of not a silence, right? There's still yelling and alarms going off and glass falling and breaking and different things happening. But definitely a lessening of the noise occurs as the Hydra's roars and screams are suddenly cut short. And they almost do the thing where it's like, it's a huge roar, but it starts to slow down and gets like bassier, and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell, you're getting good at that.
You see her straining to hold it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not that she'll be letting go anytime soon, but she'll just say, we need to find a way to get rid of this thing fast.
Amity's got you all an opening.
I'm going in. Everybody hit this thing as hard as you can. Don't let up. And we see Aiden swooping in towards the Hydra, carrying Carla, the two of them clasping forearms. Aiden rises up past one of the branching necks of the monster. She drops Carla off onto the top of a head. Carla just starts dashing along the creature's neck, firing her enchanted revolver into the wood.
Carla, you better be so fucking... She's not calm. She doesn't have a calm.
She is not.
He just yells down, "Don't sever the head!" Damien, what are you doing?
Damien gets the call just as he's finishing the circle and like looks at Whitaker's bicycle. Working on an anti-summoning circle.
Do you need assistance?
Probably.
He's like squinting like, what the fuck did he do to my bike?
He can feel it.
Whitaker can tell the sound of the engine.
He knows the sound of guilt in Damien's voice.
Amity's holding this thing still for you. Raven, is there any chance you could help Damien complete that?
On it.
Unless there's something else you wanted to do, Brittany.
I was just gonna try and kick some ass.
Yeah, you want to fight with Aiden, you can.
Yes, you can do that too.
Kick some ass on the way out. Yeah.
No wrong answers.
Yeah, now that it's not moving, I want to go extra hard on trying to hit it with this ice magic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kick some ass?
I mean, if you're trying to harm this thing, then yeah.
I was going to say, if it can't fight back, does that give everyone like +1 forward or something?
It just means that you can kick ass without worrying about taking harm from it.
Oh, okay.
Which is a pretty good deal considering this thing.
Also so good.
Considering how massive it is. Yeah, I want to kick some ass.
Aiden rolled an 8 on the die plus her tough. We'll give her an 11. How'd you do, Raven?
I rolled a 4.
Well,
At least it's frozen.
Okay, good thing you weren't helping me.
you get to mark experience.
True.
Oh, boy. Okay.
How did I fuck that up so bad? It's literally frozen.
It's okay.
Would you like
It's okay.
to help out?
Unless you roll advanced, it won't save it.
Yeah.
And you're on a broom in the air.
Yeah, I took you with me.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's a 4 on the dice with 0 tough.
Well, Aiden's kicking ass. I'll just say that rolls into what she and Carla are doing to the one neck.
Mhm.
Carla's like blasting at this thing. Every time she fires a blast of her revolver into this thing, there's an entry wound, but no exit wound until there's like a second flash within the neck that also goes off and sends like a flare in either direction out both sides. Almost like whatever she's sending into this thing has like a second detonation that it's doing. Aiden is looping around in an arc, and she comes in with a glowing smite and just crack right into this dragon face, which is like frozen in a grisly and nasty open maw position. But Aiden fully comes up under it and closes the mouth with like an uppercut and sends this thing reeling back just with the force of her impact. Now, Raven.
Yes.
You have the swirling ice that your two spirits are giving you the ability to manipulate. And as you go to direct more of it, maybe we'll say at the neck that Carla and Aiden are working on, you fail kick some ass. You get your ass kicked instead. You, as you go to raise your hand, are suddenly falling forward and hit the pavement hard as you've been kicked from behind.
By what?
By who?
As you glance back quickly, you see Falden Springleaf
This motherfucker.
This bitch ass.
drawing his blades.
He doesn't even know me.
He doesn't even go here.
Everybody knows you, Raven. You're famous.
Damn it.
And I will say, Amity Whitaker, you see a large fireball roaring towards where you are positioned on the staff.
Oh, great.
As we see Orion, I should get his last name. I can never remember it on the spot.
Give me his middle name. I want to use his full Christian name.
So we can yell it angrily.
Orion Dawnlight.
Thank you.
Ooh.
It's a cool name.
All right, Mr. Dawnlight, you bitch.
The gnome sorcerer is down there casting a large gout of fire at Amity and Whitaker. And Damien, as you finish riding along on Whitaker's motorcycle to like get back and make it around the rest of the way, suddenly a lancing spear impacts with the front wheel of the motorcycle, which flips the whole thing. And we see Syrah Bramble-Pelt. No, that's the fucking hero cat. What the fuck is her last name?
Bramble Point.
Bramble Point, thank you.
Somehow Bramble Pelt sounds very cute.
Yeah.
Like that can't be it.
They're all warrior cats' names.
Truly. Fallen and his crew, the warrior cats of TSS. But yes, Syrah Bramble Point's spear basically flips the motorcycle and then flies through it the rest of the way and returns to her hand. And she starts galloping up towards you, Damien.
Well, back.
What are y'all doing?
Ow.
All right, well, I'm getting sweaty, so time for some spaghetti. And he's gonna chuck a can of his spaghetti mix at her to try to tangle her up and slow her down a bit.
Okay.
Mel just blinking at the screen.
What brand of sauce do you use, my guy?
It is a homemade recipe with 13 herbs and spices.
Ooh.
As it should be.
It was 13 on the dice.
Nice.
Okay. She gets tangled up in this pasta again, immediately starts cursing.
If I had a nickel.
Damien grabs another loose street sign, and instead of taking a motorcycle, because I think the roads are too destroyed at this point to make that effective, he just goes around trying to complete the runes of his circle on foot, just scratching symbols onto the ground as fast as he can.
Amity is busy casting. I think Whitaker is gonna try to like reach over her to grab the broom to try and just pull this shit in the other direction.
Ooh, okay.
I love that. I also want to throw out there, Natalie, I forgot that my use magic was advanced. I forgot to look at the fact that the tag is right there. So I don't know if that needs to be considered in anything, but I just want to say that I remembered it.
I mean, I did let you time stop Godzilla, so I'm going to say
That's true. Yeah.
That feels like an added benefit.
No, that feels absolutely
it's kind of a
correct.
benefit right there. You didn't
Yeah.
stop my kaiju in its tracks for a few rounds, so I'm going to
Yeah.
say that's the added benefit.
That's so fair.
You're welcome.
I'm more so calling myself out for not remembering to say that I have used magic as advanced.
You're fine.
But yeah, no, I love the idea of Whitaker being like, I'm going to try to pilot this shit. Let's go.
Okay, Whitaker.
Use magic or act under pressure. One of these is gonna turn out way better than the other.
It's protect someone
Oh.
with your weird added.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
I support this chaos.
No modifier. Whitaker's weird is 0. Let's see what we got. It's a 9.
Okay.
It's a 9. It's mixed.
All right, with a mix, you'll take some or all of the harm they were going to get.
Get a little singed.
Yeah, where are you taking Amity's staff?
Depending on the angle of the fireball being shot at us, I was probably just gonna like duck below it, honestly.
It's coming upwards at you. Orion is on the ground.
I was going to just strafe right.
Okay. I think you will get singed a little bit, but you're able to like at least turn the staff away soon enough that Amity is not hit by the flames.
Yeah.
And I could even see a situation in which Whitaker was also like basically unscathed from that fire. But because this is a very unusual and unfamiliar thing you are trying to do right now, I will say that you sort of like drive the staff towards one of the buildings and maybe like crash through an already cracked window into like an office or something.
Sure. Shit. Sorry, Amity. You all right?
I'm fine. I do think crashing through the windows,
Might break concentration.
she's dropped one hand. She's still holding one hand out, but the creature would start to get some movement back.
The creature, the shimmer of it ripples through the whole thing again, and it picks up where it left off. But you've got the one hand there, so then it sort of like ripples again. And it's like flickering, being in time and stuck in time and in time and stuck in time.
Right.
So it's moving almost like bad animation where like it's jerkily.
It's like when the track is skipping on like a CD or something and it's still like trying to progress through the song. And it's real fucking weird.
Mm-hmm. You're sort of struggling to maintain some kind of hold, but the creature is now fighting and pushing back against this spell. Hugo, you want to come in? We could say you're also in the building that they just crashed into.
The two of them go sliding across the floor. Oh, hey, Hugo.
Oh, jeez. What do you even do in this case? How are we doing on rescue mode?
People are fleeing. You still got Gabriella, Fernanda, and Mercedes to like help handle that.
Cool. While they do that, I'm assuming Hugo has seen Falden at this point, right?
Sure.
Cool, because it's on site.
Oh boy.
Fucking go, my guy.
Okay, yeah.
If that is allowed.
You want to go for him, go for him.
Hugo, help. Please.
I love the idea of Whitaker and Amity sort of getting up in the shattered glass of this thing, trying to maintain the spell. I'm like, oh, sorry. And just gold flash, Hugo like zoom out that same broken window like after Falden.
Thank you very much.
With a 14 for combat magic.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so fucking good. You leap out this window and fucking frozone your way onto one of the necks of the Hydra, then like swoop down under it and then snipe speed over to this guy as he like approaches Raven menacingly.
I was so excited to help out if needed, but like, you got this, dude.
And he is going to get hit by a lightning blast, for which we will be doing... Oh, I hope this ends up being non-lethal. For the 12 plus, it's going to be your attack inflicts double the normal harm. So instead of 3, it's 6.
Oh, oh.
Wow.
Holy shit.
On site, more like on smite, am I right?
Hey.
God.
Let me consult for a real quick second.
Natalie rewriting the campaign after the death of a major NPC.
I like the idea of Raven getting like the wind knocked out of her, and as she turns to look at Falden, there's Hugo.
Hugo, you rush forward, you see Raven on the ground, you lance this lightning bolt towards Falden. You know you're overclocking your tattoos a little bit. This is a lot of power you are throwing at this guy. And the lightning, as it travels towards him, 5 feet from his body, it fizzles into nothing. And we see stepping out and like up next to him is a woman with an asymmetrical haircut, dyed silver gray, and dark tattoos from her shoulders that cover everything but the fingers of her hands in full blackout. Her face is covered, and there is a like shadow effect around her arms. Falden smirks, points at you, Hugo, and says, "We have business to discuss, and now you're out of tricks." He will rush at you. The woman with the dark covered arms goes for Raven.
I know I want to kick some ass. I don't know if Hugo has some other things to handle with this man, but
Go for it.
He has words, but the words will happen afterwards.
guys,
Oh no.
Oh, Raven.
roll the 5.
Oh.
Raven, no.
You're gonna level up by the end of this.
I think I just did level up.
Oh my god. Sweet girl.
I need to make my tough higher.
Well, what is your intention against this person running towards you?
I wanted to get up off the ground and try to use the wind magic I have around my arms to try and like push her back. Not use the combo wind with ice to like stab her, but like get her away from me, maybe make her fall down, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. You get up, you use this wind magic against her, you throw a punch at her, and she fully puts a hand out and catches it.
Oh shit.
The wind magic around your arm is instantly dispelled, and the kelp directing the water from the hydrant nearby also gone.
Oh shit.
And she comes in with her other fist, slam, and gets you in the stomach. It's a punch. It's not gonna like break through your Easty armor, but yeah.
Still hurts.
And I'll say she will combo with like a quick like sweep of her leg and drop you on the pavement again.
Damn it.
Hugo Fallen's coming at you with his 2 blades.
Okay, guess we're doing some fighty fight.
Okay.
4 and 11.
What's bonus are you taking on kick some ass with a 10+?
In an unlikely turn of events, suffer 1 less harm.
Okay, I like this. What's the harm rating on your Scream Sticks?
I think it's only 1.
Then in this scenario, you and Falden are now fighting, but not really gaining ground on each other. He comes in, you deflect his blades, you strike at his knee, but he hips up, does sort of like an air step, flips over you, swings around again. You throw your sticks behind you to stop the blade, then twist under them and jab for his throat. He ducks and weaves and backs up to take distance. The 2 of you are clearly trained fighters. And Falden, he says to you, "What game are you playing at, Hugo Rashad? Why perform this resistance when I know your people are behind everything?"
My people are behind nothing. I don't know what you're talking about, and this is not the time for this. If you want to have an honor duel or something, fine, we can do that later. But you're putting people's lives at risk right now.
Do you think me a fool? Your protestations and feigned ignorance are insulting. Clang, 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 slash, slash, slash. He gets it to a point where he's like got you backed up against a lamppost or like a stone garden with the blades like pushing in on you. I know what I saw. Witch hunters behind the crystals.
Witch hunters behind the crystals. Really?
We will cut away to someone else.
I know there's no turn order, but I think if there was, Damien's up next, right? How's that magic circle looking?
Yeah, how's that looking,
Mhm.
bestie?
Shoddy as fuck.
You want to do something about that, Damien?
Yeah, Damien continues scribbling his metal post on the ground, scraping it over the previously drawn metal lines on the ground,
Okay.
trying to make some runes out of it.
I will say, Damien, you are going quite slow on foot. Do you have something in mind other than just continuing to make the spell circle that you're working on?
No, if Seer breaks out of the spaghetti, try to deal with her again, but otherwise, Damien's obstacle is time.
I think you got her sufficiently trapped. Like, I will leave her trapped since you rolled so well and your magic, it was good. Here's what we'll say. As you are, like, trying to engrave or just, like, scratch these runes into, the circle to overlay it on the one you wrote before, one of the Hydra plant's heads comes lurching down, and like even though it's stop motion, you're focused on getting this thing, and it sort of just like comes in one of the moments where Amity's concentration on the spell is faltering and is like coming directly at you.
Damien pulls out some hot sauce packets, rips the tops off, puts it in his mouth again, and starts carving into it with his tongue to make the runes. So he tries to breathe the fire to counteract this plant dragon head coming at him.
I love that. Go ahead, roll use magic.
That's so awesome.
4 + 3 is 7. That'll do it.
Okay. Comes with a glitch though.
You know what? I don't think I have enough attention on me, so I think this magic should draw immediate, unwelcome attention.
Well, you definitely rear back and blow fire thanks to your hot sauce fast casting. It definitely drives this first head away, and it arcs backwards But I think now that there is fire literally catching on this thing's like lower jaw as it pulled back, many more of the Hydra heads turn their attention to you, Damien.
Damien pulls out his bottle of water and drinks the entire thing.
The Hydra now sees you blowing fire on it. Also, I think might register that you are like casting some sort of elaborate spell. And at this point, we see finally, Amity, you are unable to maintain the time control to an effective degree, and the last shimmer passes through the Hydra, and now all 6 heads rush forward towards Damien.
Yeah, that seems correct.
Help, 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 help!
What's going on, Rogue Team?
Oh,
I don't have anything that can counteract 6 Hydra heads.
yeah.
Amity, Whitaker is going to pick up your staff and just toss it to you.
Yeah.
Get a handle on that monster. I'll provide some cover for you.
Yeah, okay.
The play that I've got in my head is you take monster, I need to give you cover because there was a guy shooting fireballs at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think he's going to deal with Orion and just let you have fun with the monster.
She's looking a little haggard, but she will do as he says and take to the skies once again. I think she has to use some of the taught magic that she was given. I think we're gonna get a new vantage point. Gonna start pulling powders and resins and various ingredients from her bag, mush them all together in her hand to mix them up, and then she's gonna nosedive and start trying to weave in and out of the various Hydra heads and start casting like a lasso, a leash around their necks to literally reel them in.
Just a big dog.
Yeah, just a big dog.
So you're trying to go under and around all of them in a loop?
Yeah, going in figure eights and loop-de-loops.
Okay. What material is this leash made of?
As it emerges, it's made of a golden light.
Magic.
Ooh, okay. So just a full construct then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's see how well that magic goes.
Okay. Definitely use magic. Because I know I was like, she's gonna do some weird shit, so I don't know if you want me to do act under pressure instead.
It might... It's protect someone, actually.
Ooh. Okay. All right. My hands are so ready. Oh, I have protect someone as advanced. Okay. So that's a 6.
Interesting.
Yikes.
I think Amity levels up.
Great.
Yay.
Oh.
Amity, you fly down towards these Hydra heads with this golden binding that you were trying to work against them. And I think as soon as you approach, one of the heads veers off and immediately just starts snapping at you and chasing you away from the others, which will drive you back, and you're maybe able to throw a lasso around this thing, but you're not anywhere near Damien as the other 5 rush towards him now.
Can I have one of the heads narrowly miss Damien, but not miss his jacket? So it pulls him up and he's in the air being held up by this mouth, about ready to get attacked by the other ones. I just want someone in the air screaming and flailing around.
Sure.
Making the real sacrifices.
We see the first head comes forward and chomps down. You're able to just spin dodge out of the way. It's a full Hail Mary, just but it does catch it's not even that it catches in the mouth, these branching pieces of bark that form this creature's body hooks onto the jacket and pulls you with the first head that is coming towards you. And you get dragged into the air. The other heads, some of them knock into a building foundation. Another one bites its way through a traffic light. Sparks are flying everywhere. And the heads now all start to weave and turn around. And we see as another head is coming chomping for you, Damien, that it is struck by a bolt of lightning, which deflects its approach towards you. And we see Virgil, the homunculus Eastie agent, with his cannon arm pointed at the Hydra, and Echo, the haunted doll agent, channeling lightning into Virgil's core through the teddy bear.
Keep it coming, Echo.
Virgil, give me a second.
screaming this haunting banshee scream as he is overcharged and begins to fire pulses at the different Hydra heads. We see a zipping gold flash, and Damien, you are suddenly being held and running along the neck of the Hydra as Agent Lara West, the ancient spirit agent, has you in her raptor arms and is moving at snipe speed because they're an ancient ancestor. And she says to you,
Hang on tight, Edgecrest.
and we'll get you to ground at least. And Raven, you are struggling against this woman who completely negated all of your magic. And as she is they're about to stomp on you with her feet, she just gets cold-cocked in the face and sort of stumbles away as we see Agent Mulligan Lake, just a guy.
Just a guy.
My hero.
You doing okay, Eugenia?
Yeah, I think so.
You better get out of here. This lady's clearly bad for casters.
Does he help me up?
No, I think he's now in a fist fight with this woman who has the negation ability.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought he knocked her out. Yeah, she'll get up and just take off in the other direction.
Okay.
She was not going to be useful in that fight.
Yep. We see as Virgil is now trying to hold off the different Hydra heads as they start to turn their attention to him. Gabriella, Fernanda, and Mercedes swoop in an arc above, and each of them land on a head and begin to pummel and attack it. Now the Hydra is completely disoriented and dealing with many multiple attackers that are surrounding it. That's the new setup of the fight. You got some backup.
Hey, Laura, why don't you help me run some circles around this guy? Damon will hop on the back of the raptor, and as we run along, he'll reach down, grab another street sign, and begin scraping that thing on the ground as we zip along.
Very cool. Yeah, you and Agent West zip away to continue this rune circle. Whitaker, what you up to?
I was gonna handle the magic nullifier, but if she's getting handled, then we're good.
She's clearly going toe-to-toe with Agent Lake, so you can back him up if you want, or, do something else. Amity's on ahead. The 3 members of the Whispered are on ahead. Virgil's blasting away at another one, and Aiden and Carla are on number 6.
After Amity takes off into the sky, Whitaker is going to just full on leap out of the crashed hole they made in the side of the window, and stab Damocles into the side of the building and just ride that down to the ground.
Ooh,
Yes!
hell yeah.
Hit the floor, and he's going to go after Orion to make sure Orion is not blasting fireballs at his people in the sky.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, sword blazing, I'm just going to try and run him from behind to make sure he doesn't see me coming, and it'll just be sword attacks all the way down.
Sure, kick some ass.
Let's go. All right, it's a 7. It's 7. It's mixed.
Okay, you'll trade harm.
Damocles is a 3 base.
Yep, so 3 harm to Orion. I think you are able to stealthily use your battlefield awareness to sneak up behind this guy. I think you see him probably about to he's charging up a crackling chaos bolt or something to hurl towards Echo and Virgil, who are now 2 of the biggest problems for the Hydra. But you were able to disrupt that with a swipe of Damocles, literally just up his back, blood immediately starting to seep into his robes. On a mix with Kick Some Ass, you will trade harm, and I think have just enough time to sort of react but not escape danger fully.
Oh no.
And Sierra, who has fought her way out of the spaghetti, uses her double-bladed weapon to slash at you for a similar 3 amount of harm.
Sure. I think all of that is nullified.
All 3 of it?
2 armor and battlefield awareness.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So, try harder, Sierra. Do better.
Ember, you can't say that kind of stuff to Natalie. You have to be so careful.
I can while there's 0 harm on my sheet.
I hope you realize you just signed your own permission slip.
Listen, Whitaker isn't getting hurt enough in these fights, is all I'm saying.
Can Raven try to come help assist Whitaker now that it's 2 versus 1 over there?
Sure.
She was kind of heading in that direction anyway when she left Agent Lake to his own devices. I feel like I have better luck against these other two. Actually, before that, I do have a question. When I felt my two spirits getting like dispelled or dispersed, can I sense if Wendy's still anywhere?
It would depend where Wendy was in that moment.
I realized we didn't establish it, but if they were like manifested and on site somewhere, are they still here? Did they also get dispelled and I would have to resummon them?
If they were not like at your feet, I would say that they are still around doing something or like on call.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Wendy was like directly with Raven, but they're somewhere in this fight, keeping an eye on things, maybe providing backup if needed.
Yep.
I just wanted to clarify, like, did all of my magic get nullified, or was it just like the most active things that were like I was channeling at the moment?
Let's flavor it like this. As you leave and run away from Agent Lake and this woman he's fighting, you get a few sprints away and suddenly the swirling wind around your hands comes back.
Oh.
And appearing on your shoulder is the woodpecker spirit again.
Interesting.
And he says, whew, what the shits was that about, eh?
Anti-magic field? Something like that. I don't know. I'm out of it. Let's go kick their asses.
That's what I like about you, Miss Druid. Let's get to it.
She's gonna keep sprinting towards Whitaker.
I think as you are running over Orion, 2 orbs of light appear in his hands and he will go toe-to-toe and start mage casting against you, Raven.
I want to try and fire some of these ice blades right towards his hands and put out that fire.
Yeah, let's go.
Is that kick some ass?
Yes.
Dang it. The good news is I leveled up and I have 1 tough now.
Yay!
Oh,
Nice.
Finally.
proud of you.
Girl is strong.
I rolled double 6s.
Yes, box card.
Let's go, Raven!
Didn't even need it.
Justice for Raven.
So it's a 13. It's not advanced, but it's a 13.
Okay. What bonus are you taking?
I think I'm gonna do you completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved in this fight get +1 forward.
Okay.
I imagine that's just Whitaker and it's just this particular fight and not like the whole thing, but I want to give Whitaker...
It is sort of a chaotic thing, yeah.
Yeah, I want to give Whitaker +1 because I've just evened out this fight a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I want to like ice over his hands.
What's it look like? Yeah, show me this attack as he like casts a couple orbs of like radiant energy at you.
I think she's able to like dodge a few and use just the wind to like push them away from her.
Ooh, yeah.
And then she starts building up the like flinging those ice blades again like she did at the tree hydra. And she's just aiming for his hands until there's so much built up that his hands like ice over and he can't cast fire magic.
I love the idea of you sort of sliding and using the wind to push his spells away from you.
Like a little matrixy, like a cool backbend.
Yeah, and like as he raises his 2 hands above his head and like a fireball begins to form between them, suddenly he's like looking at you grinning with like the light of the fire sort of shining down on his face, and he rears back to throw it, and when he throws his hand forward, it is covered in ice because you have been like whipping ice from a nearby water feature to like coat his casting fingers, and so the whole thing sort of just like fizzles in front. He's like, shit!
Just to be petty, she's gonna fling one more right at his face.
Yeah. Hits it with an icicle in the face and sort of doubles over.
Okay, so Laura, you know that scene in Titanic where she's out in front on the tip of the ship, spreading her arms wide, and Jack is right behind her? I think if we do that, and I can have a sign in each hand, I think this might help. So yeah, the raptor just like sort of small arming Damien in front while he's scraping 2 signs on the ground as they go.
You're like riding her. There's no reason for you not to like ride her and like be off to the side, like scraping the thing. As buff as Damien is, like, have you ever lifted a street sign?
Those shits are heavy.
They're really fucking heavy. And you're trying to delicately inscribe runes in asphalt while going at super speed. Like, I don't think I'm going to let you 2 arms out Van Damme this move.
It is really funny to picture, though.
It is so cool, though.
I mean, act under pressure, I guess.
No, you're 100.
You can certainly try.
No, it's okay. He just needs a 3rd one, and then it'll be Roran or Damien.
Oh, yeah, right. A street sign in your mouth.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, digging the street sign in is two-handed. That's full effort. All good.
I'm going to have you roll use magic to keep working on this sigil now that you've got a speedy raptor friend to help you out.
3 on the dice, 3 for magic, but because I had previously used one of my rotes, I have Luck of the Damned, and that final +1 takes me to 7.
Woo!
Okay. It's a 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you, Natalie.
You're welcome.
you did give her those 3 holes.
Funny how that worked.
Funny how that happened.
Funny, haha.
As you are going, you're making it around to complete the circle, right? Laura's fast. She's as fast as Hugo is. And as you are like making the return leap, you finish the runes, but you have to cast something in order to activate this thing. And where you and Laura stop,
Right next to the anti-magic woman.
Yikes.
oh, that's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
Yikes on a velociraptor.
Damien slaps his hand down. Ha! Oh, dang it.
I was going to do a different thing, but I guess,
What were you gonna do? Because I'm curious.
well, if I say I have to commit to it.
Oh, okay.
Laura turns back into a human as we get close to the anti-magic woman.
Yeah, actually, no, it's too good. It's too good. Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's funny.
It's too good. It's too good not to capitalize on that character being on the field. Yeah. As you rush forward, you finish the inscription, but suddenly are like, "Whoa!" and you fly forward, and so you roll on the ground past Agent's Lake and the woman with the negation field tattoos, and you turn back and you see Agent Lara West and her like torn up beastie, or actually no, she's got like a She-Hulk thing that she wears on her agency suit, so that's what she's got going on. But yeah, she's just sort of like in her human form. Her raptor spirit transformation temporarily negated while you are in proximity to Nell Fields. We can say who it is.
Stay back, Laura. I got this. He bites open his last hot sauce packets and chucks a spaghetti at her.
Spaghetti hits her in the back, and you have to swallow a bunch more fire sauce.
Spit out the fire sauce on her.
There's no, like, you go to tap your hands down to make this sigil activate, and nothing's happening because Nell is here over the line of your circle, basically.
I have a question.
Yeah, we could check in with Amity.
My question is, the gems that the Leshy jammed into the monster to make it the Hydra, were those fully absorbed or just like embedded into the skin? Like, can they be removed?
Why don't you read a bad situation, Amity?
Sure, why the fuck not, Natalie? Oh, huh. Good luck to me. 8.
One question. Which, if you wanted to just be, what happened to those gems, you can ask that question of me.
Yeah, I would love to. What happened to those goddamn gems? Are they still visible?
You see on the head of the Hydra that you are like wrangling with this golden cord you have created. In the eye, on one side, is the gem suspended there.
In their eyes.
Yes.
Okay. I know what I have to do.
And in this moment,
Oh no.
I think we see Las Muertas have like started to team up on one of the heads. Carla has like made it to ground, continues to fire and harry at this thing. Gabriella is holding the base of the neck to try and like restrain it. Mercedes has been taking shots with her rifle and her charged magical bolts. And Fernanda, she sort of has been like appearing and disappearing here and there. And as she appears once again in the air, her wings are retracting, and she is now dropping fist first with her daggers out. And we see the tattoo on her arms pulse, and a lightning blade extends her dagger to elongate its edge. And as she comes down, one of the Hydra's heads is severed at a weak point.
No. No. We said don't sever the head.
Well, if there are no more Leshy to give it gems,
Then maybe it's fine.
then maybe it's fine.
Unless the head sprouts a body.
Can I continue, or do you want to keep feeding me ideas?
Go ahead.
The head, as it is severed, starts to drop down.
Mm-hmm.
And as the head is falling towards
Oh no.
Fernanda, who is now like on the ground getting up, The eye of the severed head begins to glow and crackle. And dropping down, we see this thing start to surge with energy.
Is it gonna fall on her?
It is about to drop directly above her, yes.
I would like to protect someone. Please. Please. I am flying. Let me save her. I am magical. Let me fucking lasso her out the way. Something. Please.
Roll protect someone.
Okay. Okay. My hands are sweating so much. That is a 9.
On a mixed of protect someone, you will suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. How are you saving Fernanda here?
Is it too late to try and help out?
You're not really near this part of the fight, Raven.
Okay.
I think this being such a huge monster and you being so focused on dealing with Orion and Syrah, you're engaged.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Because I rolled with tough, I feel like it has to be physical and not magical.
Okay.
So Amity dive bombs on her staff at an angle towards Fernanda and tries to scoop her out of the way. I think it ends up being more like a push, or they don't get very far, but that's what they do.
Okay. The Hydra head, as it falls, you swoop in on your staff and begin to push Fernanda away as above you, the Hydra head explodes. Now, we've seen what happens when small portions of a human spark detonate. When this crystal explodes, it is 9 harm.
I do have +1 armor, so it's 8, but...
You, I swear to God.
Listen, it counts. It fucking counts.
8 harm is still...
That's still too many.
I'm dead.
It's just slightly less dead.
What if you just took some of the harm?
And Amity Starnbrook dies.
Can I continue?
Sorry, we're on one tonight.
You can't say 9 harm and then expect us to just be like, okay, Natalie, continue.
There was a pause. We were discussing.
I was rolling.
Okay.
I'm activating Angel Wings.
Okay.
Amity, you push Fernanda forward.
Mm-hmm.
Explosion. It's so bright that it almost masks the sudden of Aiden teleporting near you, a person she knows well. She grabs the cuff of your sweater or whatever you're wearing and has just enough time to spin and hurl you out of this area such that you shove into Fernanda and push the both of you much further. You two are now flying through the air, and we see Agent Virgil convert his cannon arm and
Whoa, gotcha!
catches the two of you and goes barreling down the road and impacts with an SUV and sort of crushes it under his massive metal and stone frame. But the explosion clears, and we see Aiden just in that shove position, and she drops to her knees and hits the pavement.
Aiden!
Did she get crushed by the head, or is it just the impact of the explosion above her?
It's the impact of the explosion. There is not much left of the head other than a few splinters that sort of rain down around.
But she took the full brunt of the explosion.
Yes, the full explosion of that crystal.
Fuck.
Aiden, with all of her features, is at 6 harm.
Oh my fucking god!
Okay.
Christ.
Hello, adventurers. Thanks for joining us for this exciting finale to Arc 3 of Season 3. See? The 6 Hydra heads weren't totally random after all. Thanks, math. First up, we are promo swapping this week with Girls Run These Worlds. They are a wonderful production studio organizing TTRPG streams and series while welcoming and celebrating the voices of femme creators across all diversity spectrums. We've got a trailer for one of their latest projects, Roll for Luck, a series featuring an all-black cast of storytellers exploring fate, luck, romance, and more. Let's check out the promo.
So what is Roll for Luck? Roll for Luck is a table of Black storytellers black joy, and lots of black chaos. As once said by one of our Roll for Luck players, Ava, who is a veteran at the table, Roll for Luck is a kitchen sink of chaos. Throw in some drama, toss in some laughs, and sprinkle in as many potential romantic plot lines as you can, and it'll make you consider the power of fate and luck, and how these two forces of nature dance together, with both players and DM being able to play off each other in the cases of comedy and tragedy. So what are you waiting for? Check us out on every other Wednesday on Girls When These World's Twitch channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
You can catch Roll for Luck and all the other shows from Girls Run These Worlds on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/girlsruntheseworlds. As usual, you know the drill for how you can support the Storyteller Squad. If you've made it here with us to episode 77, even just by listening this far, you are contributing to our efforts to warm hearts with cozy slice of life, only to shatter them with the drama of high-stakes fantasy conflicts. You can leave us a rating or review on the podcast app of your choice, and tell the internet your favorite thing about our story. Some of you have been very specific lately, and it has been great to read your thoughts. You can also engage with our cast and the greater community on our Discord server. Invite link is in the episode notes. While we do have a Patreon exclusive channel or two, the larger server is a free community space for anyone to join. You'll get the most direct announcements there, especially when life forces me to slow down and we have to delay an episode. I promise I'm working on taking better care of myself, so we hopefully don't have that happening as often. As you know, we've been building out our ability to exhibit with merch at conventions, and I want to say a special thank you to our patrons who have been such a big help with those efforts. Even a small contribution adds up when there are more of you, so if you can safely pledge, we would be forever grateful for your help. Patreon.com/TheStorytellerSquad. And as soon as I can get our website more functional and appearing in search results, we will be working and getting our online shop set up so that our pins, stickers, and more will become available to order online. Our socials are at Story Squad Cast, and they are socialin'. Everyone should be so proud of Mel, who has been helping us keep up with those, even from her family trip to South Korea. Mel, you are a champion. We would be lost and many followers less without you. Thank you so much. And thank you, adventurers. However you're able to support our series, it all contributes to making TSS as good as it is. Tell your friends about us. We'd love to meet them. But for now, I'll send you back to the story, and see you next time.
Hugo, you are fighting with Falden, and I think when that explosion goes off, he's distracted for a moment and just sort of like looks to see what all that was.
Let's make a bad decision, shall we?
Oh.
So in the moment that he's distracted, Hugo is going to drop one of his Screamer sticks, reach out one of his hands to grasp the forearm, and he's going to say, "Look, I don't know what's going on with this, but I promise you I have no idea and I need your help right now."
Fucking Hugo Rashad.
King shit.
What color is Hugo's aura? Have we ever described it?
His what?
I don't think we have.
Do you mind picking a color right now?
Hey, Natalie,
Yeah.
what color is Anya's aura?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Well done.
Hers is copper and like a warm orange.
I need to check something real quick. Azure, because that is the complementary color to copper.
Oh.
It's also the color often used to depict ice and lightning.
That is true.
Beautiful. Poetic, even. You clasp Falden's forearm and forge a folk promise. And when the runes, the tiny binding ones, wrap from your arm to his, not only do you see your azure promise there, but suddenly a very dark green set of folk runes also appears, which is binding all of Falden.
Oh.
And you catch this flash as you make this promise, and he kind of like snaps out of his like reverie at the explosion and then looks at what you're doing, looks you in the eyes, and then like grits his teeth. Now, because I had to process a lot of stuff, what did you say exactly in the promise?
I promise you that I don't know what you're talking about, but I need your help right now.
Got it. So I think in that moment, Falden, he can't let go of the blade.
He does have a second blade.
He does. And I will say, Hugo, you're able to he swings it kind of half-heartedly, but he definitely swings it at you. And with your other free hand, you're able to deflect it and knock it out of his. At which point, he then will place his hand on your shoulder, and as he jabs the other hand forward, not enough to really impale you, but enough just to get the blade of his sword stuck in you and to draw a little blood, he says, "I will know the truth of it. See what I have seen." And he throws his head back and his eyes light with green, and yours light with green as well. And we are going to flashback.
Oh.
Hello, adventurers. Editing Natalie here with a bit of above-the-table context. You'll recall the prologue scene from episode 75, where we saw Falden and Orion in the research lab of the Undyne, Lynette Lamar. That scene I delivered to the players during this flashback. But what you're about to hear now is the second half of the memory that Falden shares with Hugo. Let's see what gets revealed, shall we? Hugo's vision resolves as we see a fireball lurching past Lynette Lamar, the Undyne, seemingly working with Kikimora and the folk here, and striking towards Nell Fields and Kevin Fisher. But as we now know, the fireball instantly is dispelled as it enters Nell's field of negation. Her dark tattoos pulse once. Falden and Orion rush forward, drawing weapons. And then we hear, "I'm gonna need everyone to just stop." And it echoes in the chamber. And we hear more footsteps from the hallway. And opening the door is a man in a light gray suit with a pastel pink tie.
Yep.
This fucker.
And Declan Stone glares at Falden and Orion, who instantly, when the words hit them, freeze where they are.
Whoa.
"Put those away," and they sheathe their weapons. "Now back up, we got work to do." And they take a couple steps back in the room. Declan approaches Kevin, and he says, "You all right there?" And Kevin, who looks spooked, is like, "I don't know, Mr. Stone. What the heck's going on down here?" And Declan just puts a hand on Kevin's shoulder and says, "Don't worry about it, my friend. Take a walk right in there." And Kevin straightens up and turns and, without argument, walks into a room and closes a glass latching door behind him. Declan looks over to Lynette, who is already walking across the lab to a control panel on the outside of this rounded chamber. She hits a few buttons, and we see as Falden's eyes widen as through the glass he sees a demon summoning circle open up. The imp being summoned. Lynette hits some more buttons, and electricity surges through and compels the imp to life drain Kevin Fisher. It is overclocking this demon spawn's natural ability. It overclocks Kevin's tattoos, and we see in a glass housing outside this chamber as a seafoam green crystal is being formed, almost like it's being 3D printed out of spark energy that is being drawn and siphoned away from both demon spawn and the human host. When the process finishes, both the imp and Kevin fall dead. Falden and Orion both look horrified. Falden manages to work his jaw enough to say, "What abominable work are you doing here, witch hunter?" And Declan turns, glances at Falden, and says, "Shut up, elf. Go back to your plant witch and do your damn job." And we see, as he goes to sort of loosen the tie that he is wearing, just beneath his collar is a glimpse of a portion of a whispered tattoo that pulses. And Falden, his mouth closes, and he and Orion turn and leave the lab.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Hugo, flashback ends.
So interestingly, Hugo doesn't know who any of those people are.
Oh my god, that's right. He doesn't.
No.
Interesting.
Falden looks at you and says, I cannot stop.
You won't have to. And he is going to burst forward towards Nell.
She looks roughed up. She and Lake are sort of evenly fighting with each other. You're leaving Falden to go deal with her?
Yep.
Okay. What are you doing?
Going to attempt to just knock her out.
We have someone who's anti-magic. Can we drag her towards the tree hydra?
She certainly presents an interesting opportunity in which you might be able to negate some of these crystals, which you just saw take out your friend, the First Light.
Not to be rude, she doesn't gotta be conscious for that, does she?
No, not at all.
You don't know?
Well, we don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe not.
We love a science experiment.
Yeah.
It's only science if you write it down, though, so we have to take notes.
There's so much science in this episode happening.
That is a really good idea.
That was going to be my plan, so...
You're right there, Damien. I think, Hugo, let's resolve you kicking Nell's ass.
Yeah.
If you snipe speed away from Falden as you get, again, within like 20, 30 feet of Nell, your running becomes normal again.
And he is perfectly fine with that. It's a 6. But does it have to be a 6?
Does it?
You know, feeling a little bit lucky, so let's make it not a 6.
I love that for you.
Okay.
Which in this case, the non-advanced choice is the choice that makes the most sense,
You can take it.
which would be to force them where you want them.
Mm-hmm.
Or to help whatever Damien's going to do, you completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved in the fight get +1 forward.
That's your call to make.
Hey, Natalie, is unconsciousness driving the enemy away?
Here's what I will say. I think completely hold the advantage implies control of a situation. If you want to take that one and say that you're able to like subdue Nell and get her like restrained enough that she's unable to fight. Because again, so far you've seen that her abilities are all negation. She has nothing that she's able to like outwardly project or like do other than just being a fairly trained fighter and canceling all the magic that has been thrown at her.
Yeah, let's go with holding the advantage then. That makes more sense.
Okay. Every one of your companions, including Lake's team and Las Muertas. Yeah, we'll give everyone, so all the PCs get +1 forward because you're about to take a big piece off the board and control it now by subduing Nell. Describe how you take down Nell. Give me a cool fight description.
Sweep the leg.
Honestly, sweeping the leg makes perfect sense, but honestly, it's not even that cool. While she's distracted in the other fight, he literally just comes from behind, wham in the back of the head.
A solid and tried and true tactic.
She drops Falden, who, as he said, he is bound through whatever means to finish out his assignment, which is to protect Kikimora and the Leshy. He turns on his heels the minute you run away from him and charges at you, blades drawn. But as he gets closer to you, he is suddenly smacked away like a baseball. And we see Agent Echo psychically manipulating a downed street lamp and having like used it to just slam into Falden and send him sprawling through a couple of the lawns here at the spheres.
Damn.
Owie.
Bounce, smash through glass into the interior of the spheres.
For clarification, was that a move that would have been within the range of the magic dampening?
So here's the fun thing. Echo is telepathic. She picks up this lamppost and then just hurls it forward. And because it is a flying lamppost, it impacts and falls in.
An object in motion stays in motion.
Beautiful.
That was a really good idea, Mr. Snuffles.
Ain't no magic like inertia.
I love Mr. Snuffles.
I love Echo so much. She's so fun. As part of this move, Hugo, you will drive Falden at least away from this immediate portion of the fight with Echo's backup. Let's see, who can we pick up with next? Raven, you're sort of fighting Orion. You just saw Aiden get absolutely wrecked.
I was gonna ask, did I see that happen?
Yeah, everyone saw it happen. I mean, it was an enormous explosion.
You heard Amity yell.
Then for Raven, the second the explosion is over, she's heading straight for Aiden.
Okay. You rush towards Aiden. Carla continues to like harry the Hydra with her revolver shots, but she's like approaching Aiden's limp form.
Yeah, Raven's gonna go right up to her and try to, like, first response, like, check for pulse, try not to move her that much, making sure she's still alive.
She is alive, but it seems really bad.
Mhm.
She took a lot of and it's not even that like she's bleeding. It's just like she got blasted by a ton of force and like energy.
Yeah.
Her like suit is all charred up and scuffed and everything. And her wings are not manifested in this moment. They kind of dematerialized as she hit the ground.
I think based on how bad it is, Raven's instinct would be use magic to heal. There's nothing in the vicinity. Like, this is not first aid. This is like crisis mode.
Carla, she'll take up a stance in front of you, her long dark coat shielding you and Aiden from like immediate sight of the Hydra. And as she's firing, she says, "Is she alive?
Just barely.
Get her on her feet."
And Raven's gonna use magic to try and heal her.
Go for it.
I'm very scared based on how my rolls have been tonight.
Dice are telling a story.
All right, that's an 8.
Okay, what glitch?
I'm gonna go with the less exciting, but I think more realistic option of you take 1 harm, ignore armor. This is an emergency, and I think she's channeling healing magic like so hot and so fast that it's like at her own expense. I will take 1 harm easy for that.
Okay. What's the option actually though listed under use magic?
Like the effect?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's just heal 1 harm.
Does it also have the option to stabilize?
Heal 1 harm from an injury or cure a disease or neutralize a poison.
You pump some silver magic into Aiden, but she is still unstable.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
I think you pulse a significant amount of healing into her, so much that you like strain yourself a little bit, and she doesn't even look like she's much better.
Is she even like conscious a little bit?
No.
Okay, I didn't think that would do that. I just had to ask. Yeah, even with her not conscious, I think Raven's going to try and get her out of there.
Okay, you pick her up and start to literally just try and carry her away. Carla barks an order at one of the girls. "Gabriella, fight her down, evacuate these 2. And Gabriella, who is running along one of the necks of the Hydras, leaps into the air, punches one face, which sends her flying backwards with the shockwave of it. She spins around and side kicks another Hydra head into the side of a building, and then she comes rocketing down and lands, cracking the pavement, and jogs over to you. "I got her. Let me help you."
I think a little reluctantly, Raven will hand Aiden over.
Yeah, she can share it with you if you want to keep up.
Yeah. If we can do 1 arm over each of our shoulders.
Yeah, she'll lift up Aiden with you. "Where do you want to take her?"
As far away from the Hydra as possible. She's not doing good.
"You got it." And I think the 2 of you will start running with Aiden towards
where Agent Virgil, Amity, and Fernanda are, crawling out and being let down from the wreckage of the SUV he slammed into, because she wants to check on her sister. So Amity, you see Gabriella and Raven running over to you.
Okay, cool. Amity stumbles out of the wreckage, starts pulling a variety of healing herbs from her bag. Give her to me, and is also going to try to heal Aiden.
Sure.
Yeah, Raven will help Gabriella get Aiden onto the ground.
Yeah, she'll set her down and she goes over to check on Fernanda and pat her down "Are you all right? That was crazy. Oh my gosh, don't do that." And Fernanda, who is a little shell-shocked, is just trying to brush her sister's hand away. She's like, "I'm fine. I'm not even scratched. It's fine. It's fine."
9 plus 3, that's 12, right? I can math. I'm stressed.
Yes.
Yes, it's 12.
Okay, and use magic is advanced.
Correct.
On an advance, on a 12 plus, the keeper will offer you some added benefit. Hey, Natalie! Can I? Asking to reduce all of her harm feels greedy, but can I do that? Or can we compromise?
They rolled so well.
I rolled so well.
I think we can compromise. I don't think you're going to heal all of her harm.
No. How about 3?
I'll give you 3.
Okay. Also, fun thing I'm just going to point out, and it's because, we moved Amity to the Chosen playbook. They have 2 destiny moves that, have to be taken, and one of those is called I'm Here for a Reason. Based on your fate, you cannot die until it comes to pass. If you die in play, then you must spend a luck point, and you will then somehow recover or be returned to life. Once your task is done, or you use up all your luck, all bets are off. So, have fun with that next time.
Hey, Mel?
Yeah.
I know you have that move.
I'm just throwing it out there. We didn't.
And now the audience knows, too.
Now everybody knows.
I'm picking up on the subtext of, you didn't have to have Aiden save me. Yeah, I did.
I mean, yes.
For this moment.
Sure. But I'm throwing it out there for future reference.
Yep. Don't
I
save
know.
Amity. Got it.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Amity's got important stuff, but it doesn't mean Aiden wouldn't have immediately thrown herself in front of an explosion to save her kid.
Oh, yeah.
We know how Aiden feels. We understand.
Even if
fully.
Aiden knew that Amity had that, she would have still done
She
it.
still would have done it.
Mhm.
We know how Aiden is.
We know how Aiden operates.
She gasps and bolts up, still a little disoriented, and like steadies herself and sort of falls back onto an elbow.
Amity?
It's okay. She's safe. We got you.
Aiden takes in the group of you surrounding her and just lets herself lay on the asphalt of the road for a minute.
Raven does try to like catch her head so she doesn't just completely fall backwards.
She like has one arm like over her eyes, but will like reach up and like squeeze your arm, Raven, as you go to like support her.
Mhm.
And she just says,
So, are we still?
Fighting a giant tree monster? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take like 30 seconds and I'll be good.
You go ahead and do that, and Amity is gonna walk towards the Hydra.
you get up and start walking. You hear Aiden call after you.
Amity, thanks for being here.
I don't know what to say in response to that. I'm sweaty. I'm so hard. And it's making me delirious.
Knees weak. Mom, I'm sweaty.
Why is there so much spaghetti?
Why is there so much spaghetti?
Where did Damien get all this spaghetti?
Okay. Amity pauses and looks back at Aiden. She's in the middle of readying her staff to fly off into battle again. And she gives her this half smile and says, "This is where I'm supposed to be. Family sticks together." And she takes off.
Gabriella and Fernanda will join you. Virgil is like extricating himself from the car and pauses long enough to sort of glance at the two of you, Raven. And he says,
Some damn fine heroics, Miss Brightwood. Real honor to be working with y'all.
We see his arm cannon convert and power up again as he calls out.
Echo, let's move it.
And we see Echo pick up the teddy bear and just floats over to sit on his shoulder, and the two of them run in.
Raven's gonna look down at Aiden and go, 2 minutes minimum, 30 seconds. How dare you?
Correct.
She says it with love.
Aiden just smiles. Her arm is still resting over her eyes, but she gives your hand another squeeze. Yes, ma'am.
Raven's gonna watch her unless there's like clearly something that she needs to like jump back into the fight. At least for the next couple minutes, she's just gonna like make sure Aiden is okay
yeah, you can stay and guard her.
and force her to continue to
Take a minute.
break for at least a minute. Come on.
Yeah. Still 5 heads on this Hydra. Let's cut to Whitaker.
I'm gonna be honest. It's too many heads on the Hydra. I think Whitaker keeps making
Whitaker's
things
like, I gotta
get back
go."
to it. I gotta. Come on. I think. Yeah, no. The Hydra is just genuinely too big of a problem to kind of ignore right now. Whitaker is going to make an attempt to slash out one of Sierra's legs. Just make it so she can't follow him.
Ooh.
Yeah, kick some ass.
Let's do it. It's a 10, baby.
It's an 11 technically because you have +1.
That's right. Yeah, I think you force them where you want them, which is not following me.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of honestly maim her enough that she is like now limping and struggling to keep up with you. Oh, you know what's fun? We see Whitaker pull a very familiar maneuver. She does a charge past you. You deflect the blow. She keeps going and has to like wheel around because of her momentum. And as she charges at you again, Whitaker runs and then slides forward and slashes at her legs. Very similar to a maneuver that we saw Raven pull recently. Maybe a sign that she's been taught by someone. We hear Sierra cry out as Damocles finds its mark. And you slash the tendons of her back leg, and she's now like hobbling and sort of lands in some bushes and has to use her weapon to support herself. But you're now past her, she is slowed, and you could engage with the Hydra if you want.
I think he does say to her as he's like disengaging, "I'm not here for you," and goes to help out with the Hydra.
I like the idea of Whitaker charging at this monster, and as you're charging forward, you see Virgil and Echo strafing to the side. and he calls out,
Whitaker, what's the plan, boss?
Whitaker, there's gems in their eyes. I can try to pull them out if you can distract them.
Everybody pick a head. Get it as immobilized as possible. And we're gonna try and pin down as many heads as possible so we can pull out the gems.
Agent Lake radios over the earpiece.
You heard the man. Let's lock this thing down.
As he's running, Lara West is getting up, and as she takes a couple more steps, something and raptor form returns as she gets out of Nell's negation field, zips up next to Lake, puts her head between his legs and flips him up onto her back. He grabs on and will race with her up towards one of the Hydra heads. Virgil and Echo are tag teaming another head. We see a head charging at Carla, and she has a second revolver that she's pulled out mid-fight and is blam, 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 firing, and chunks of wood are being blasted off of it. And we see it impacts with the wall that she is backed up against. And as it pulls away, we see, holding the mouth open, Carla is now covered in feathers, her forearms long and taloned and scaly. Her black coat has been replaced by feathers that wreathe her body in a very griffin-like anatomy, and her face takes on a very owl-like appearance as Carla enters her Lechuza form and just growls and starts to maul the inside of this thing's mouth, slashing with talons, and eventually lands on the back of it, this new monstrous form. You can see within the patterning of the feathers that coat her are the same glyphs of her tattoos.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She's a Lechuza, the owl lady.
She is wise, so that tracks.
She's also scary, so that tracks.
That also tracks.
And it explains why all of her daughters have feathery wing tattoos.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all coming together.
I do things intentionally. It's wild.
Funny how that happens. Some of these things just line up. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone put time and thought into this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who's going next?
I gotta stop saving badass moments for the right moment. Just kind of do them.
Just be badass.
Every moment's a badass moment.
If Amity is up in the air and there's a Hydra head coming for them, I want Whitaker to throw the sword at the eye.
Ooh.
I want to do a big throw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so down for that. Amity, after yelling to Whitaker, took to the skies.
Let's have Amity do a thing first, and then yeah.
Sure. Amity is back up in the air. They are going to use magic to, and I'm sorry for anybody that has an eye thing. I'm hoping that if it's a monstrous eye, it's less weird, but is going to use gravity magic to pull the gem from the monster eye.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, I forgot to add +3. It's 6 on the dice, so +3 is a 9.
You want to help out, Whitaker?
I would love to help out. I think during this time, Amity's been giving updates on what head is going where, because they've got the aerial view, and Whitaker's relaying all of this to Carla and to the Seattle team and all that. Amity, as you start to cast some magic on this eye, the Hydra head starts to resist and bend back and forth, trying to resist the gravitational magic. And Whitaker's gonna see you struggling against it and hike up the sword like a javelin and say, "Look out, Amity, incoming!" And he's going to javelin throw it at the eye to try and dislodge it from the socket.
Hell yeah. I'll help out.
Love this.
Let's go. It's an 11 to help out.
Ooh.
That'll add +1. No glitch. Magic succeeds.
Yeah, because I was at a 9.
The Hydra head that Amity is now drawing the crystal forth from, struggling. And you throw the sword, Whitaker, and in the air, you can see Damocles sort of veering off path. But if you've got your hand extended, you sort of oh, come on. And Damocles' arc and trajectory dips up.
There we fucking go.
Yeah.
Into the eye, which breaks the membrane barrier, and instantly the crystal is drawn to Amity's hand. You catch it. When this happens, The Hydra head that has had the crystal removed immediately begins to dry up
Yes.
and turn bleached like dead wood.
Thank you.
And one neck snaps at the base and falls backwards.
Hell yeah.
All right, lads, take notes.
Yeah, we hear Agent Lake over the comms.
Everybody see that? We've got a kill option. Go for the eyes. Go, go, go!
And we see him and Lara rush forward up a neck of one of the Hydras, and she sort of leaps down and with her raptor foot claw slashes open one of the eyes. And as she and Lake fall, we say they are caught in midair by Echo and her psychic abilities and drawn away. Virgil fires his pulse cannon at that eye, hits the crystal, and it explodes far enough away from anyone else. And another neck hardens and becomes the deadwood and snaps and falls. We are down 3 heads now?
Yeah, because one exploded over Aiden, and we just took out 2.
Yep.
So how many does that leave us with?
3.
Okay. I'm so glad we can do math, you guys.
I think we could say we see Gabby and Fernanda who call to Mercedes, who's sort of like still perched in her little like vantage point on the ledge of a skyscraper a little ways away. And they say, "Give us cover!" And they swoop in and start to peck and harry at the Hydra that Carla is still like just grappling to keep open and not shut on her. She will use that opportunity to fly out of the mouth and then handle at least that head for now. 2 heads left, focusing on your group. Syrah is wounded. Orion is struggling to cast anything. His hands have like a bit of like minor frostbite, so he can't like make the correct symbols, and it's just sparks sputtering on the ground. Damn it, damn it, damn it! And I think we see Falden like slowly like rising up out of the wreckage of the sphere building so we can march back into the fight. But Hugo, you are with Nell. What are you doing?
As an observation, are the tattoos still going?
I think, yeah, because you're not able to activate any of your powers right now. And I think she's not like completely out. You got her stunned enough to like get her arms behind her back, but she's starting to like come around and like feel someone holding her and like goes to try and struggle.
We got any rope?
Someone's gotta have rope.
If you want to restrain her, you are bigger and stronger than she is. You can just hold her there. I'm not like threatening you with her escape right now. I'm just saying like she's conscious.
Then yeah, you know what? They're gonna sit about it.
Uh-huh.
While they are sitting on the ground with him trying to prevent her from doing stuff, he's gonna get over to her side and say, "Where did you get those tattoos? And who is that asshole with the pink tie?"
Manipulate someone.
Do we want to burn a second luck point in a single encounter?
What's the roll?
Oh, it's a 3.
Oh.
Let me see if I can help you here. That is an 11 from Aiden to help you out.
Aw.
Not her advance.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an 11, but this is her first time doing something, right? Didn't she have a +1 forward?
Yes, she did. That is a 12 on Aiden's help out, which makes your move a 12.
Let's go.
As you say, "Who the fuck are you? And who is this asshole with the pink tie?" Raven, you and Aiden have been approaching, and Aiden walks over to this person, and as Nell is like fighting, she sees the 2 feet approach and looks up, and Aiden is standing there ablaze with radiant light, cracks her knuckles. "His name is Declan Stone. Tell us where he is." And she will help you with this intimidation check.
Oh, thank goodness.
And so Nell says, "It doesn't matter what you do to me. He's probably already gone by now." Raven, could you investigate a mystery for me?
I would love to. That's a 9.
It is a 10.
Oh,
Power of love.
Power of love.
okay. I do want to know what is being concealed here. And I guess this feels kind of like an interrogation. I want to know what was it going to do. I'm hoping she'll spill some of what their plan was.
What's being concealed here? Clearly, Declan Stone is mixed up in all of this, which is bad.
We knew it.
What's extra bad is that when you were in the morgue earlier with him, nothing he said triggered your tendency to notice when people are lying.
You also know that Damien was alone with him for a long time. And you know that this woman works at the shelter, the Stone Foundation shelter.
Yeah.
Which is where Kevin was working.
Yep.
And that the draw of that particular facility is wanting to bring people in to give them their magic license. Something that people who had been recently gifted the whispered tattoos would find incredibly appealing.
Taking advantage of some of the most vulnerable people in this city.
Correct. Now that explosion and how powerful it was and how similar it was to other recent explosions you've seen makes a lot of sense. And so what was it going to do? Meaning, what was this operation for? Ostensibly to distribute these crystals. And yet, Raven, what the heck is this Hydra doing to distribute crystals right now? Or is it actually drawing every single opponent to the crystal distribution to one major fight in the city?
The Hydra's a distraction, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Fuck.
God fucking damn it.
And we all fell for it.
I think protecting civilians is not falling for it.
But we had a lot of backup show up.
To be fair, it's a huge fucking kaiju.
Backup we needed.
Yes. We did need the help.
There was something to fall for?
Now, you'll also recall that Kikimora was here before you, and you didn't actually track her here. You came here following the mysterious dragon creature. And then Las Muertas showed up after the Hydra had been summoned. And you know that they are able to easily identify when a large source of Leshy magic is being spawned in the city. Implying that Kikimora figured out that her spawn points were being tracked and summoned a massive Leshy to draw Las Muertas here as well. The fact that you all showed up ahead of time is sort of a coincidence. And she figured, well, a kaiju will draw agency response as well.
Yeah, if we weren't already there, we would have followed Las Muertas, or we would have just heard about it and gotten called in.
Yep.
Wow.
Including Lake's team.
Yep.
What a crafty little witch.
Holy shit.
Rude.
We gotta find out what this is distracting us from.
Yes, you do. And soon.
And we also have to stop it before we can leave.
Yeah, order of operations here, Agent Eugenia.
Yes. You guys are working on it. You're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
You guys got this.
Would you like to try and get more information out of this prisoner?
Yes? Implying there's more to know?
It would be another manipulate someone to get her to answer questions.
I'm not as good at manipulating, but I could try it.
You're better than Hugo.
We literally have the 3 least charming characters here, I think. Aiden just got rid of her -1. Her charm is 0.
My charm is 1.
Okay.
What's Hugo's?
-1, and it's never gonna change from that.
Oh shit, okay. Well,
you are still the best shot, Raven.
Okay, we're gonna try and manipulate someone. It's a 7. It could have been worse. Ooh, hang on.
Hey, do you have an old flake move you're about to pull out here?
Where is it?
It's been a minute.
Been a hot minute since we used a flake move from Raven.
I can use sharp instead of charm when I manipulate someone. I
There
never
we
manipulate
go.
people. This is why I didn't remember I had it.
Uh-huh.
It's a 9, so not that much better, but still.
Or is it a 10 with your +1 forward?
Is that ongoing?
Have you used it?
Yeah, I used it on the investigate a mystery.
Oh, then power love this one then.
I was waiting for that call.
Okay, I'm not gonna say no to the power of love.
Hell yeah. Here's what I will say. Aiden helping you out in this moment is her suddenly having a bit of a realization as you're like piecing things together and like quickly sharing like discussion and things with Hugo. And she says, "Oh God, Gwen."
Oh shit. I forgot about Gwen, or didn't think that she might be a larger part of what's going on right now, but if Aiden realizes it, then I should probably ask about her.
Let me put this on the table. What do you know? We're coming to like the mystery conclusion right now. What are you still missing in terms of like knowledge that Raven does not have?
I feel like I'm still missing little bits of information, but I don't know what like the question is to ask. If anybody else has anything.
I'll let people chime in. You know that Nell is working for Declan Stone.
Right.
You know that people are being used to make these stones.
Mm-hmm.
You know that this fight is a distraction from something else.
What's the something else? Where do we go after this?
Yeah, I mean, really, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Where is Declan?
You don't have a location of where all this is happening.
Oh, yeah. Where is home base?
Where's the operation?
Where is the person I need to put my fist into the face of?
Where's your boss?
Take us to your leader, bitch.
I want to ask, what is this a distraction from? What's going on right now and where?
Nell grits her teeth like she's trying to not say more, and Aiden will walk over to her and grab her by her collar and like lift her up out from underneath Hugo, and she like holds her in the air.
Answer her.
And Nell says, "They're shipping everything out tonight.
Ow.
Where?
A warehouse. It's not far from the shelter. That's where they've been making the crystals."
You're going to tell us exactly where that warehouse is.
Damien,
Oh no.
your friends are fighting this Hydra. Seems like some of your friends are distracted. They're talking with this girl over here who's like been canceling your runes. What do you want to do?
She's not like still like laying across the runes or anything, right?
I think if you told your friends like, hey, get her out of here, you could have them move her.
Cool. Yeah, Damien will show, get her out of here. And camera then cuts back to Damien. You can see he's laid one of the light posts over on top of the line of scratched metal on the ground. And it's sparking and everything, so he takes off his shoes and puts his shoes on his hand to give his hand some rubber so he can grab the wires and bring the wires over as he's stepping on shards of glass. Because from all the broken windows, John McClane did it and it was cool. John McClane did it and it was cool. He brings the wires over from the light post to the iron scratched runes on the ground. But it's not quite enough. So he ditches the shoes and says, okay, Doc Brown did it. Hey, guys, I might need your help in a second. And he puts one foot on the runes on the metal and just grabs the electric cable that makes the light post go on the other to help give the ring a little bit of a kick. We're going to run electricity through it.
All right, I'm going to ask for a little bit of clarification. Are you trying to channel National Grid grade electricity through yourself?
Through your human body?
Because that will kill you.
I think it's just going it's just going into the circle. It doesn't have to go through Damien. Unless you want it to go through you, in which case, wild, my guy.
Incredibly wild. Like, that's dead instantly.
I am not a physicist. we can retcon that and say Damien is able to successfully get the cable over.
Here's what I'll say, David. Here's what I'll say. You can see, right? Let's say that this cable is already sparking and dancing on the circle. There's power here, and you've got the runes etched. And I'm going to set up a scenario for you, Damien. You go to your pockets, and you're out of hot sauce packets. You go to your other pockets. That was your last jar of pasta. You're out of components in this moment. You've written the spell. There's power, but you know that this has never been enough for you to cast your magic. There's always needed to be that third element to do anything with it. And you see Aiden and Raven are getting more and more frantic as they shout questions at this woman. Hugo Falden has rushed over and is fighting with you again. You see Whitaker and the rest of Lake's team, along with Amity and Las Muertas, harrying this Hydra. And everyone is in rough shape after fighting this thing for several minutes. And you just don't have anything to trigger the spell with. What do you do?
Damien, his eyes are still tearing from the pain in his feet and all the hot sauce in his mouth. And he takes the last little bit of water, but instead of drinking it, holds it in his mouth and takes out a single little packet of salt and empties the salt packet into the water.
There it is!
Yes!
There it is!
Oh,
back, baby.
yes!
Never thought we'd be so excited to hear that noise again.
My rallying cry.
Damien, almost instinctively, you create salt water in your mouth. And you are suddenly feeling sand whip at your face and winds all around you.
Uh-oh.
The din of distant lightning. And despite all the energy in the air around you, a completely placid, stagnant lake before you. And a pair of eyes, yellowed and sickly, peer beneath the surface, looking up at you. You hear, "The prodigal spawn returns."
Oh my god! Stop! Stop!
Long has it been since you walked my shores, Edgecrest.
I don't like this.
Holy shit.
Why call me now?
The sand is burning his bloodied feet as he falls to his knees. And the sand burns his knees as well.
You can feel the dryness in your mouth compounding with the leftover capsaicin and a sting of salt from your eyes as you weep in this place.
I need help.
I accept tribute.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Damien, what the fuck are you doing?
What good tribute?
A hand rises from the water, draped in rotting kelp and seaweed and strands of ocean plastic pollution, like shredded bags. And the hand reaches out across the water. And she says, "I can give you what you seek. You need only reforge our connection."
Damien reaches into his pocket and pulls out a long rectangle. And it's one of those photo booth pictures of the squad inside a photo booth taking their pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And with his hand extended, he shakes Leviathan's hand.
Oh my god! What have you done?
She clasps your hand. The photo held between your two hands glows brightly with a flash, and you are back in the moment. Crackling green energy sparks down your arms, down your hands and fingertips, and into the spell circle, which alights and surrounds the entire block.
What have you done?
And it begins to rain within the circle. Slowly at first, but then a deluge opens as ocean storm clouds form above this plant hydra and soak it in salt water, imbued with a life-draining effect. Every droplet that hits the hydra and every other person within the circle begins to hurt. I'm going to say everyone inside that circle take 3 harm, ignore armor.
Ooh, ow.
Las Muertas, Agent Lake's team and your allies are not rooted to the ground, but this Hydra is. And as you all leave the circle, shaking and injured by this, the tree Hydra, all of it now, begins to become bleached and turns to a frozen statue of twisting, gnarled trunks and eventually stops moving. And the crystals in the remaining heads and the one in your hand, Amity, melt.
Oh.
Seep into the ground, and they're gone. And Damien, you hear in your mind a whisper. We both want the same thing. More. Hydra is gone.
Damien pops his shoes back on and sort of limp walks over to the group.
Raven, you and Aiden have been questioning Nell along with Hugo. Well, actually, no. Hugo, you've been fighting Falden for the past couple minutes, but now that the Hydra is slain, Falden trades blows with you for a second and then steps back and sheathes both his swords. He will give a whistle to Syrah and Orion, who both are struggling out of the life draining as well. Falden says, I still cannot stop in this place.
Then go and lay low, and I'll see what I can do.
Aiden looks to you, Hugo, having extracted an address from Nell. Hugo, let's go. And she will show you the address that's been written down. And she will look to you, Raven, once Hugo darts off. And she says, I can carry you. Do you want to come?
Yeah, absolutely.
She will pick you up into the air and take off after Hugo.
Just so you know, when he took off, he looked angry.
Aiden looks fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah. Raven's pissed, too.
Good. Same page.
This is not good.
Was any of that communicated over the comms?
I think it could be as they are rushing away.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I feel like at least some of the revelations that they had just now were over the comms too, of the Hydra's a distraction, there's something else going on. The big beats definitely got communicated, and then we're heading to the second location.
Or you could be communicating this, Raven, as you don't have to worry about navigating. You're literally being carried on the way there.
Yeah.
You can just be Whitaker, it's Raven,
Cool.
Fire off a bunch of information to catch that team up.
Yes.
I think Lake says to you, Whitaker,
I could stay here and oversee cleanup. If you gotta follow your team, you gotta follow your team.
You guys take care of this. Thanks for your help.
Nice work.
And Whitaker's gonna go.
On what transportation?
have a
Your
bike.
motorcycle is destroyed.
Fuck!
Your ride is right here.
Hey! Are you carrying Damien with you as well?
We're gonna have to. It's gonna be real cozy on the staff.
Someone could take Raven's bike?
I will enchant Raven's bike to fly.
Don't you fuck.
That's good because they wouldn't have the keys.
I don't think you have to do that.
Let me commit to a bit.
What if Damien gets to ride on Raven's bike?
Yeah.
But because he doesn't have the keys, Amity has to enchant it.
Amity makes it fly.
Yeah.
She magically hitches it to her broom and it's following along.
Oh, cute.
He's still stuck as a sidecar passenger.
Yeah, Damien's still a passenger princess.
Okay.
Can we stop for ice cream or literally any sort of dairy?
Damien, I don't think we have the time for that right now. Also, what the heck was that? That was insane.
Amity, that wasn't you?
No.
Our camera shows Hugo running through the streets of Seattle, up and over parked cars at lights, down thoroughfares and different streets of the city. Aiden following close behind, her gold wings literally just out straight, moving her and Raven like a jet through the air. And we cut between scenes of this and scenes of Leshy packing crates full of crystals. Their vines lacing into handles to both seal the crates and then carry them onto a larger cargo container. We see Whitaker on Amity's staff pulling up GPS to try and get you guys to the location that Raven texts you. We see Las Muertas slipping away from the scene where the Hydra now remains frozen and the wreckage around it. We see Kikimora seemingly returned, her plant form directing the Leshy in this warehouse where they are meant to go. And we see, a crane lifting a cargo container onto a vessel. As you rush forward, you arrive at a fairly nondescript building that is very close to the Stone Foundation shelter. Hugo, you arrive first, skidding to a halt, and Aiden lands with her and Raven. So, should we knock?
See, I'm trying to think of if he would have even stopped.
Oh.
You can retcon that.
I love that he pauses for the briefest second, and as Aiden asks that, he's gone.
Yep.
You're easily able to fast cast, freeze the lock, and just snap it off. And slamming through the door to this place, we see you travel through a hallway and through another door into a lab where we see this woman with the blue skin and the long ponytail holding a crystal and placing it into a glass vial, which is how they are stored and packed in the crates. And she goes over and sets it in a small package of them. And when the door bursts open, she turns and she says, "Excuse me?"
How does the rest of the room look, Natalie?
Read a bad situation.
Not as much. 10.
Towards the back of this room, there are several forms under sheets, laid out in rows.
Oh my god.
And you see power dissipating from a circular glass chamber.
How stupid is Hugo gonna be? Because he's very much in Roy Mustang mode.
He's also very much in danger at the moment.
He doesn't care.
He's in the wrong spot to be in Mustang mode.
Yep.
You could be in a room full of explosives, my guy.
He doesn't care.
You should a little bit.
That's what the room looks like. What other question are you going to ask?
What's the best way to protect the victims? And then, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Your intent that you had when bursting in here is the best way to protect future victims.
Oh.
The danger you have not noticed yet is getting up from a chair in the corner of the lab in his gray suit.
And pink tie?
And pink tie.
Mother fucking Declan.
Hate that guy.
This fucking
boy.
guy.
What do you do?
I think... Oh, no. He doesn't know that's a politician. He's not too worried about that part.
No, he's not.
Kick his ass.
What do you do, Hugo?
Beyond the two of them that are in the room, are there any other visible, living people?
You see a hand pressed up against the glass on the inside of that chamber.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
So Hugo's going to rush up to Mr. Stone. He's going to grab him by the lapels, and the room is going to get very...
Freeze!
Oh.
You are fast enough to get to Declan Stone and grab him by the lapels, and your tattoos light up, and then they don't.
He can do that?
His words hit your ears, and suddenly you are frozen, unable to act.
Oh, it's his tattoo.
And he remains there. Lynette reacts, seeing this sudden magic, but Declan just holds his hand up and he says, "Nice to meet you. I wonder if you're one of Carla's or a friend from out of town. Why don't you set me down?" And you do. I imagine things are sort of wrapping up over by the spheres. Declan starts picking up a few things, packing a briefcase, which he latches closed. And Lynette, watching Hugo pass her and then stand in place, says, "Declan, he is very strong."
Don't you fucking dare.
And Declan goes to stand sort of behind Hugo in the doorway, and he says, "Yes, he is. That's why he'll make an excellent protector. I find myself without a bodyguard for my flight to Washington. I think you should come with me. Keep me safe. Shall we?" And he goes to open the door to this place and is punched square in the face by a golden fist.
Thank fuck.
And goes flying into the back wall of this lab, crashes into some beakers which knock over. Raven, you and Aiden, an ops unit of the Eastie Agency, step into this place. Her wings flare. Hugo, you see a bright flash of light, and suddenly you are not being forced or commanded outside your own will.
Oh, does he have to concentrate on it?
What are you doing?
Is he aware of what happened?
You are 100% aware of what's happening.
Oh, cool. Roy Mustang is happening now.
Hell yeah.
Can someone explain for someone who doesn't understand this reference what you mean by that?
So,
let's just let Hugo cook.
Yeah.
well,
Sure.
Is it okay? Should I explain the scene?
You don't have to tell me everything and spoil what you're about to do, but can I have a little...
Just do what you're going to do, Hugo.
No. Just do it in your Hugo way.
Okay. So, with his eyes fully locked on Mr. Stone, and with his eskrima sticks gone, he is just going to start moving his hands and snapping his fingers, making blasts of entropy happen directly on Mr. Stone's body. Over and over again. The air is getting ionized,
A smell of ozone fills your nostrils, Raven, as Hugo immediately turns from the door and just begins snapping towards the man that Aiden punched through the room. The first snap hits Declan's body, and like half his suit jacket is just blown away, revealing a lot of whispered tattoos. This man is absolutely decked out, similar in level to Carla's girls and Hugo.
Holy shit.
There is about a third of a compass ring over his heart. And he goes to speak, and Hugo snaps again, and the air is again snaps with energy. And this time, portions of Declan's tattooed skin are blown away.
And he's going to continue snapping, and tears are going to start running down his face as he does it until someone makes him stop.
Aiden, she moves immediately on Lynette and pushes the Undyne into the table and says, "Where's Gwen?" And Lynette is struggling, but has her hands up in like a I surrender position and shaking gestures towards the chamber.
Raven's going straight for the chamber.
You unlatch the glass door and open it, and you see what remains are like the ashy pieces of like a crab trash spawn, and Gwen lying on the ground, weakly breathing.
Okay, she's still alive. Raven will immediately run over and try to heal her. It worked once tonight.
Raven, you go to heal Gwen. Your silver magic passes over her form. It doesn't settle.
Oh, shit.
She weakly flutters her eyes open, and she says, "Oh, hey.
Hey, Gwen. What happened?"
I was going for my test.
If you start to do CPR, Raven, as you feel her heartbeat start to erratically stop, then stutter again, then stop, then stutter again, you can see over her chest that flickering flame over the heart as it sputters and begins to wink out as her tattoos have been pushed to their limit.
I don't know if I passed or not.
You did a really good job, Gwen.
Her eyes close and her breathing stops.
Raven's going to pick up Gwen and try to get her out of this terrible, terrible room. She's not leaving her behind.
Aiden is still holding Lynette down against the table and waiting to see you emerge. And as soon as she sees you walking out with Gwen, her eyes flare. Her hair is now standing on end. And she says to you from across the room,
"Get out of the building, Raven."
Oh, shit. Okay. She's gonna glance at Hugo and...
who is still snapping.
Uh-huh.
Declan is now like clothes torn away, skin torn away. There's like exposed portions of bone on this man.
And she's gonna look back at Aiden. She's gonna give her a little nod, and she's gonna get out of there as fast as she can with Gwen.
You leave the building. Aiden looks down at Lynette, and she says, "Why?" And Hugo, you hear Lynette say, "They made better ingredients. Get out of here, Hugo."
He's still snapping.
As you death blow Declan and sever his vocal cords, the room is filling with light. Whitaker, Amity, Damien, you arrive outside the building as Raven is running from the building as quickly as she can, and you can see light starting to ripple across the roof of this place, and energy pouring from windows from the side closest to the water's edge.
Raven, what the hell is going on in there? Where are the others?
Aiden and Hugo are still in there. I think Aiden's about to do something terrible. I've never seen her like that, Whitaker.
Is she?
She's gone. You need to get Hugo out of there.
Yeah, we're going.
Amity doesn't even stop to ask questions. She's going inside.
She's calling after you as you're running it. She's not trying to stop you.
Damien doesn't go in. Damien reaches into his pocket and pulls out his house keys and the motorcycle keys. And on there is a little dinosaur keychain. And he puts the keychain in his hand and the keychain is gone. He puts the keys back in his pocket and reaches out to heal Gwen.
Oh my fucking Christ.
Damien! Oh my god.
And his other hand goes over one of the patches on his jacket, disappears. You might see a little droplet of water run down afterwards. But Damien is going to use magic to heal Gwen.
I'm gonna cry, that's so cute.
Okay. We'll come back to that. For now, I want to stay on what's happening in the building. Hugo, you are snapping. There is nothing to snap at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you continue to snap?
Yep.
Okay. You hear and realize that it is a shout over a din caused by the reverberations in this metal place, causing the structure to whine and groan in protest. Aiden calling to you.
Hugo! Get out!
And you look over to her, and she is nothing but a white silhouette with 4 wings, holding Lynette's face against the now glowing amber counter. All the glass has shattered, the liquids are boiling away, and the roof of this place is beginning to tear off. And you realize now that, like, while you have been snapping, your tattoos, at least on the left side of your body, are working overtime to heal you from not also being affected by this overflowing of radiant, raw energy that Aiden is channeling right now. Her amber eyes glowing with an intensity you've never seen before.
This is my task, Hugo Rashad. I will handle it. Now get out of here.
Weirdly enough, and pardon the phrasing, that kind of puts the fear of God in him. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
His snapping slows, and he begins to back out of the building.
Whitaker, Amity, you see Hugo as he backs out of a doorway down a hall. Again, this whole place is shaking. Whitaker, you know that this building's coming down moments from now. Hugo begins to turn and slowly start to walk towards the entrance, and the two of you.
Is Aiden still in there? Is anyone still in there?
Amity keeps going.
See, there's a part where Hugo would reach out and grab them both by the arms, but I don't know if he wants to take away that agency from Amity.
I mean, you can grab her arm and say something.
Hugo, what's going on?
What needs to happen. And he is going to, with his hand on Amity's arm and a hand on Whitaker's arm, start walking them out. Or at least try to.
You feel Hugo very methodically start to pull you and walk you out of the building, the both of you. I don't know that you've ever seen Hugo like this, Whitaker.
Definitely not. Whitaker walks with him. He was going in there to get Hugo.
I think Amity starts yelling for Aiden. Aiden! Aiden, don't do this!
The noise in here is so great. Your voice is barely carrying.
Amity, don't.
This is reminding Amity of the memories she was shown when she learned about Ashley.
And it should.
Yep. Good. So, with that in mind, where's Aiden?
Amity, leave it.
I'm not leaving without her. She pulls out of Hugo's grasp and runs to Aiden.
I think Whitaker, I don't think he breaks Hugo's grasp, but does jerk against it. Amity, come back! Amity, please!
She's ignoring everybody. She is going where Aiden is.
Whitaker, we have to go. We can't go where they're going.
Damn it. I don't think Whitaker has ever seen Hugo quite this shocked before, and I think that is enough to convince him not to go any further.
The building is shaking. A section of the ceiling collapses down between you and Amity, placing rubble in your way.
Oh, shit.
Shit, fuck. Yeah, Whitaker lets Hugo pull him out.
Amity, you rush down this hallway and get to a door that is swung open on its hinges, light pouring out of it. The floor, the ceiling, the walls are all shaking.
If you step inside the room, you can see Aiden. Her body is simply aglow as if she were a halogen bulb. Every part of her, other than her silhouette, is not defined. She is glowing so brightly. And she just seems to be standing here. All four wings have manifested, and radiant energy is pouring off of her and surging into the surrounding laboratory.
Amity stops in the doorway and tries to just call out and get Aiden's attention. Aiden! Aiden, you need to stop! We need to leave!
She does not react in any way.
Aiden! Aiden, come on! And Amity is going to force herself into the room. I feel like with all this energy and all this light, it's like pushing against natural force, you know? Like it's not...
It hurts. I think you take 2 harm.
Oh boy, okay.
Without like knowing what you're going into right now, you suddenly feel this searing radiant force surge through you.
If I have a move called Resilience, will that reduce it down to 1 harm? Because it says your wounds count as 1 harm less for the purpose of keeper harm moves?
It does not become 1 harm. It counts as 1.
Okay. I also have +1 armor from the primal force move. I don't know if that helps me at all.
I think in this case, this is an ignore armor kind of harm that you're taking.
Valid.
You are stepping into an angelic reactor.
Oh, God. Okay.
So what do you do?
More than anything, she doesn't want to leave Aiden behind. If anything, this is triggering memories for her of her past life as Aisling. This is reminding her of things that she saw in that dream when we were dealing with the Flatwoods monster and seeing Aiden's past.
This is very reminiscent of the form Aiden took when she enacted her revenge on the village of the Tuatha De Danann. It looks very much like Aisling's memory.
Yeah. Amity's going to push closer. The whole time she's calling Aiden's name. Aiden! Aiden, you need to stop! Aiden, that's enough! Aiden! Stop, please!
What's your harm track right now, Amity?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5. We're doing so great.
A wave of this radiant force erupts from Aiden. It starts to emit from her in bands now and sear into the building and break the structure apart around you. This should be, to any normal person, 6 harm.
Is there a but here?
We have said many times that Amity is completely normal, despite her ability to channel the power which she can channel. So, you are going to take this 6.
Woo! Okay.
However, as we mentioned earlier in this episode, Amity is here for a reason.
Hello?
And you have a mechanic as part of your chosen playbook for dealing with instances where your character would otherwise die.
Yeah, okay. So, Amity is supposed to have a thing that she's destined to do. I'm going to assume that hasn't been fulfilled yet. Correct?
It is only Arc 3. Could you remind us how Here for a Reason works, Mel?
If you die in play, then you must spend a luck point. You will then, somehow, recover or be returned to life. Chosen ones, y'all are wild.
Amity, you are here for a reason, which is a good thing, because this would have killed anyone else who came into this room right now.
I'm scared.
Aiden, in this moment, Amity, is not drawing on her own power.
Okay.
She is channeling in the same way that you are able to channel a tremendous amount of spark energy.
Oh, girl. Okay.
So, by activating I'm Here for a Reason, you are able to realize that while this is an incredible amount of power, it is not unfamiliar to you to be able to channel it through yourself and ground yourself out like a lightning rod.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Wow.
Any power in this space and that emits from Aiden right now, as long as you harness it the way you would draw on your magic, you can draw on it
and channel it away safely, reversing the ability you have to draw on this source of power yourself.
I want to suggest a thing.
Sure.
Hear me out. How do we feel about Amity taking the power into herself and converting it into soothing energy?
Ooh.
So that when she reaches Aiden, she can essentially, this one time, because so much power is being emanated, but this one time, she can use the soothe ability on Aiden and calm her down.
Oh. You describe it.
Sure. If Aiden is like a nuclear reactor, Amity is the cooling system. Aiden's like golden light energy starts to coalesce and envelop Amity's hands, and she gets closer to Aiden, and as she gets closer, she lets her voice get softer, and she reaches out and she puts one hand on Aiden's shoulder. Aiden, please stop. This isn't you. And she's gonna reach out with the other hand, trying to get her to look at her.
Aiden's gaze is directly skyward.
You can stop, okay? And eventually, she'll wrap their arms around Aiden in a hug.
And as you hug her, the roof of this building is torn upwards into the air and disintegrates with the energy crackling through it, breaking its molecules apart. Debris floating up and being pulled and swirled around like a nexus point. Unfortunately, Amity, as calming a presence as you might be, Aiden is not a reactor right now. She is a strike. The rest of you outside watch as this rising beacon flares. Everything in this column of light is engulfed, and the entire building is destroyed. A car pulls up. The girls of Las Muertas and Carla step out, all of them staring in awe at the column of radiant force, erasing this dark magic site from existence. And as the light subsides, all that is left is a perfectly flat, circular black mark, charred into the ground, and Amity hugging Aiden at the center of it. Aiden's gaze is skyward, but she eventually comes around and realizes that you are there, Amity. And shakily, she brings her hands up and around you and clutches you tightly. We see a charred skull drop from her grip and break into dust before it can hit the ground.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I had to. Oh, God.
I think Amity had started hugging Aiden tighter and tighter, hoping, wishing that this was enough, that she would stop. And she didn't. And Aiden is apologizing. She's finally done. And I think she's crying. She hugs Aiden even tighter, and she just goes, "Please don't do that again. Please, Aiden, you scared all of us. Please don't do that again."
She grips you tightly. You can feel a bit of her super strength bleeding through in this emotional moment, but she will stroke your hair and pull away to look at you. And her own eyes are watery, but they are stern and resolute. And she says,
"Sometimes the things I have to do are scary. I'm sorry you had to see it again. We're okay. Don't be scared, Amity."
if the two of you slowly walk over to everyone else here, Aiden sees Gwen lying on the ground in front of Raven and Damien. She shoots an angry look at Carla, and she says, pointing back at Gwen's body,
"This is what your war costs."
Aiden, that's enough.
No! Someone needs to say it. Even my siblings know this about you. They've been using it to hurt you all for as long as I can remember. When it comes to humans and war, You are always too eager for it.
And she turns without waiting for a reply and kind of avoids everyone and goes to sit at the edge of the dark ring, drops down, and sits staring out at the harbor as the sun sets. We see in the harbor, already quite a ways from port, is a cargo vessel sailing away from a different warehouse. But on the bow of that ship are Leshy and Kikimura. Damien, you wanted to try something.
Yes, Damien is going to use magic to heal Gwen.
Okay. Damien, this is big magic. This is going to change Damien's relationship to magic forever. Damien, you call to Leviathan, your former demon princess, sacrificing tribute. This is a straight roll, and I will let you burn luck as if it were adding modifiers to the roll.
What?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I love you, Natalie. Oh.
Oh my God. What?
Natalie, you're insane for this. You're insane.
You wild woman.
Oh, Natalie, you are incredible.
Absolute madwoman. Durs, you can't doom your character right when he's about to become really cool.
I mean, he could.
Not with that attitude.
All right, just for the record, how much luck do you have to burn? I need to know.
I mean, even if I 2 on the dice, I'd still only need... Okay, I guess I would need 5 luck points. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, we're all having fun.
So much fun.
This is a fun roll.
Yes, it is. Because, Damien, for perhaps the first time, I am setting a DC.
Ooh.
You need a 10 to save her life.
Oh my God.
my
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why am I on the verge of tears? This is
I'm gonna
like,
cry.
It's a terrible day for rain, isn't it?
Isn't it?
fuck you.
It's already
Terrible
fucking
thing for
rained.
rain.
There's already been rain.
We had first rain, yes, but what about second rain?
No, dang, please.
It rained in real life today.
Oh my God.
Am I allowed to help out at all or no?
No, this is...
This is all Damien.
This is the king wearing his crown. That's what this is.
I figured I just needed to ask.
Oh, Durs, please.
Wait, so how much luck does Durs have to burn?
Let him out.
And I'm out.
I'm so nervous.
My palms are sweaty again.
Here's what I will say. You need a 10. It works as I have described. If you are not close, you can back out. I will not make you commit, but Damien will know as he tries this that the harder he pushes this, the more detrimental it will be to him. This is beyond anything he has ever attempted. Please roll.
How am I supposed to sleep after this?
I've got handprints on my Cinti.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, we rolled. With the luck points, it's the 10.
Damien, how many luck points did
Are
you
you not gonna tell us?
How many?
Are you not gonna tell us how many luck points you just burned?
How many?
What is the die result?
Oh my God, dude.
4?
You rolled a 4.
You
Mm.
And you're doing it anyway.
you crazy man.
Durs? I'm telling you right now, you cannot walk it back if you burn all that luck. But it is your call.
It's Damien's call at this point. His leather jacket with all the pins and spikes and safety pins and all the patches he's put into it over time.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to crumple it into a ball. And there's no way that you could crumple a leather vest into a tiny ball, but slowly it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and his hands are wet with salt water.
Damien, Gwen takes a breath, and her eyes shoot open.
She looks up at you and Raven. Did I pass? And that's where we'll end our session.
There we go. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Fuck.
Can we go get some ice cream?
Yeah. Ice cream sounds pretty great right about now. Oh my god.
Yo, that's a you fucking finale.
And to think that was just an arc.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.